called Cosmopolitan. And I wrote it because a friend in Singapore said to me, why don't you do a poem on that theme? And I said, well, this is ridiculous. I don't write poems because people ask me. But in fact, a year later I did, so I will begin with that poem. Cosmopolitan. You want a poem on being cosmopolitan. Dear friend, what can I say? Sometimes I cannot tell mulberry skin from blood on the hands of children, nor stop myself from tugging a cloth where ghostly knives, cups, forks flutter, where stones surrender to the hunger of exiles. Yesterday, I jumped the metal door confusing D train for A. Doors clashed, I tore a sleeve, saved my arm. Pacing the ill-lit platform, I heard the bird of heaven call, a cry huge indigo, besting the underground tunnel. A simple enough bird, whose voice alone forces it apart. A dun-colored thing, feathers moist. It likes best to perch on green tamarind or on a bamboo branch, the kind of bird you see painted on Palmyra fans or at the rim of raw silk, furnishing a woman's garment. As the A train spun in, I saw claws scoring a stubble field, rails melting into bamboo hit by a lightning storm. Ill-suited for that train, and wherever in the world it might take me, I set both hands to the tunnel wall. In cracks of the broken wall I touched dirt, moist, reddening, and it came to me, foolish perhaps, yet insistent as night wind after a storm has passed, a slow, sweet tapping on the tympanum. This is where your home is laid, scales unsung and secret geography. Odd questions massed in me. Who knows my name or where my skin was torn? And, if I could, would I return to Kashi? And might the Queen of Trumps intercede for me? On an island, in a high room, on a kitchen table, by a chopping board, I see a book you once gave me, The Travels of Ming Lao Tse. That ancient sage whispers in my ear, I have seen the sea changed 3 times into a mulberry field and back again into the sea. Why come to Venice? The young woman asks. I answer in lines that time may have passed. As a child, half a world away, I floated in a black canoe. It sank in high water. The lagoon swells at monsoon time and floods the ghetto. All the pepper of Muziris cannot buy their freedom or mine, and painted pottery exchanged for monkeys or chattering peacocks cannot distill sorrow. A fish with rainbow fins is swimming in a fountain. It has swallowed the ring of remembrance. This Kalidasa knew, dreaming of a high room by the Academia Bridge that holds Shakuntala still sleeping. A bird with feathers the color of jasmine has made its nest in the timbers of that bridge. There I see a man, his face painted white, a yellow star pinned to his chest, staring into water. He too is part of this earthly theater. No one must see him weeping. I'll close with a poem, which is the last poem in this book. And it's called August 14th, 2004, and it's an elegy for Cheslaw Milos, who I admire very, very much. I'm sure many of us do. And he died on the same day that my father had died, but a few years later. And I wrote this poem, August 14th, 2004, and I'll close with it. I have never been to Krakow. I imagine it filled with chestnut trees. It was a green day when you died, and hard the telling of it. Now is the time for patience. The west is a knot of thunder showers, the east a nest of small-scale fires. On terraces covered with roses instead of honeybees, bullets swarm. In alleyways, torn silk reveals the bodies of infants, laid head to toe in caskets of desire. On a dresser made of mahogany, a woman's hand arranges a display of attar, each vial culled from a separate continent. Jasmine, lilac, rose, last of all attar of earth, red earth and pouring rain. August 14th in the year of the Lord, 2004. Was it wet in Krakow when you died? Through airport lounges and shuttered doors, through coastlines gashed by mist, through barricades of blunt word, torment of the ant and ox in a miserable century with its corrupt couplings, you kept note of it all. Petticoats trimmed with lace from the black heart of Europe. Cotton from India, crystal from Lithuania. A woman's cheek wet with dew as paradise swims up. Goldfish, icon of the journeying soul in a garden pond, struck by muscular roots and fleshly scents. Ferocious toil with pitchfork and spade. How much time is enough in the life of a poet? You cannot answer now. The chestnut trees are thick with rain. You turn away from the window pane. The dirt is a honeycomb of consonants. Hour by hour as you come close to your death, someone whose face is covered with a veil, man or woman, I cannot tell, reads from the letter of Paul to the Corinthians, reads in a slow, clear but quavering voice, in speech that erodes the clarity of your own, crystalline disturbance of the liquid atmosphere where sun and storm collide, reads in the tongues of men and of angels, from the poems you composed and the poems to come, zone of limestone, chestnut and linden, zone of sweet water laced by fever, book of the migrant soul, now losing, now finding love. Thank you.